Alright gang, this is Dr. Dave PT, and I'm going to show you guys my 2015 hydroponic setup. For those of you who haven't seen my earlier videos, this is how the system works. It's basically a bucket made out of food-safe plastic. Got a little, what is this? This is a paint strainer, nylon paint strainer mesh. And inside the bucket I have a combination of perlite and shredded coconut. They call it coconut coir. Okay, so that's what I use as a medium. It's not dirt. Kind of looks like dirt, especially when it's wet, but it's really just perlite and coconut. The more perlite, the more white. The more coconut, the more of that brown. So underneath the bucket I have a little drain. Okay, and then this drain spills into the main drain pipe, which is this big white pipe here. Okay, so if you can see that pipe, it spills into this pipe and it goes into a reservoir. So if you can see that black bucket over there, or that black storage container, that's my reservoir. It has a pump in it. So after all the water spills back into the reservoir, there's a pump inside that pumps the water through this pipe here, and this pipe goes to a regular 4-head drip manifold, and that drip manifold runs into the pot. So let me see, let me pull one out here. So this is one here, and you'll see the water coming out of it, just like that right there. There's the water. So it circulates the water back into the bucket. So the beauty of the hydroponic system, for those who don't know, is that it supplies the root system with a constant and consistent supply of nutrients that we put in the water. And because it's getting that consistent and constant nutrient supply, it really doesn't have to put a lot of energy into the rooting system. So that just means more energy goes into making fruit. Okay, so I'll just kind of pan around here, and this is my squash and pepper section. This is a crookneck squash. You can see that there's some small ones there peeking out. Okay, and then there's a pepper. Hasn't made any fruit yet, but I think maybe in a week or two we'll start to see. Incidentally, I don't know the identity of any of my peppers, only because I was lazy. I pulled off the little tags and then forgot to kind of label them. So I won't know what kind of chili peppers they are until the chili peppers start producing. Okay, this is bush zucchini. I think this will start producing in maybe a week or two. I can already see the female buds. There's one right there. Here's another set of peppers. Again, still no fruit, but I think maybe in the next week or two they're going to produce, and I'll be able to see what kind of peppers they are. Another bush zucchini. Another set of unknown peppers. There and there. Okay. And then this last bucket I have crookneck squash. And unfortunately for this plant, the female buds came out first, or buds blossomed first, so these never really got a chance to get pollinated. So this first batch is going to come out small. They're not going to be big. All right, so let me back up so you can see what it looks like from afar. That's my squash and pepper setup. And then here, we were just here a moment ago, this is my tomato and pepper setup. So we have tomatoes here, just like the peppers. I don't know what kind of tomato this is, but just from the looks of this fruit, I think it's kind of, what do they call it, a cherry gold or something like that. This is a tomato plant, and this here is like the pride of my pepper collection. This is a Trinidad scorpion chili, and it's got a lot of little buds on it, so I'm really excited about this when it starts producing. This is another unknown tomato. I think we have one sprouting out right here, this one right there, so I'm excited about that one. Here's my eggplant. The cool thing about this eggplant is that it's blooming like crazy, and we have our resident pest here. I don't know if you can see, but right there we have our grasshopper. You know, I don't kill him because I know there's a purpose, you know, as to why he's here. I can see the little leaves that have been chewed off by that guy, but I'm going to keep him around. Two peppers. I don't know what kind of peppers, but although here we have one. I think this is a jalapeno, so we won't see. I'll give it a couple of weeks to see how big that gets. But two peppers here, and then lastly more peppers. but I think I have an idea that this is a bell pepper, and that's only because I can see a bell pepper peeking out right there. That's a bell pepper right there. And that is my pepper and tomato setup. And then lastly, this is my tray. Okay, I just made this season, so I'm really excited about this. So basically what it is a wooden frame that I built, and then I put pond liner, food safe pond liner inside of it, and then filled it up with perlite and coconut coir. It's more perlite. I know it's dark on top, but if you kind of dig in, you'll see that it's mostly white in there. Okay, so it's got 3 drains. 1, 2, and 3. And then you can already see water coming out of this manifold that I built. So it's got 2 rows, 2 manifolds that water comes out of. Okay? And currently, take a step back, you can see my lettuce, you can see my dill, my cilantro, leaves are really shiny, and my parsley, look at that, leaves are really shiny. And these are the 2 newest additions. I've got artichokes. This is an artichoke that I planted yesterday, another artichoke, and then 2 unknown tomatoes that I pulled out of the ground. They were rogue tomatoes, they're just growing out of the ground. Pulled them out and I planted them here about a week ago, so they seem to be taking to being in this tray pretty well. In fact, I see some new leaves on this one over here. This one I'm not sure, but it looks like it's budding, so I think they're doing well. Anyway, there's a tray here, and underneath the tray I have a trash can, but it's made out of food-safe plastic. I checked the type of plastic. It's okay for this type of use. And you can see the water spilling back into the trash can. So this one's a little bit more simple. Pumps it up to the tray, goes into the tray, into the drain, and back into the trash can. So again, constant and consistent supply of nutrition that I put in the water. Doesn't have to invest too much energy in the root system. That's pretty much my 2015 hydroponic setup. So let me take a step back so you guys can see it to its entirety. That's my tray. Peppers, eggplants, tomatoes, Trinidad scorpion chili. Those are my peppers. And then here I have my squash and some unknown peppers. All right. I'd like to give a shout out to Watch It Grow Hydro. They're a hydroponic joint where I get my parts and equipment. They're located in Firestone Avenue in Downey, and not too far from the 605 freeway. So giving them a shout out. That's pretty much it. Good people. Bye-bye.